It's just a great movie.
An essential. We should also mention again that Elizabeth Taylor won the Academy Award for this. Sandy Dennis won for Best Supporting Actress. George Segal was nominated but did not win. Richard Burton did not win, which infuriated Elizabeth Taylor at the time. But that was the year of Paul Scofield in A Man for All Seasons, which was pretty hard to top as well. But Richard Burton is one of those rare actors that was nominated 7 times and never won an Academy Award.
Well, I think the men in this film know how to give way for their women counterparts. Richard Burton for Elizabeth Taylor, George Segal for Sandy Dennis, I think they support them in all the right ways, and yet there is a lot of room for them to have the floor.
It's very interesting. It was recently revived on Broadway. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf with Tracy Letts. And it was so interesting, the concept, because George was the strong one and Martha was cowering at George, and it really worked that way too.
That's an interesting take on it.
It was very interesting.
Well, you know, it's, again, I think some of the things that I will always have cemented in my mind about this story, even though it is such a famous play, is Haskell Wexler's camera work.
Right.
There's such incredible 3 shots in this movie, which is like a technique that I rarely see, where all 3 faces are in a row, but they're all still held in focus. And there's a lot of Dutch angles in this movie that can somehow at times feel very contrived, in this movie, again, just add to that weird physical vertigo that the film gives to you. I just think it's some of the best camera work ever done, and it's certainly one of my favorite films for cinematography.
Yeah. Well, do join us again next week as we bring you another movie we think is an essential. Bus Stop, 1956. To me, this movie is an essential for one reason, and that's Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe handpicked Joshua Logan to direct this film.
The supporting cast in this film is one of the best.
The nature between men and women really comes alive to me in this film.
From 1956, Bus Stop. That's next Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can find out more at tcm.com. Thanks for joining us for The Essentials.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Elizabeth Taylor will love, honor, and obey if Richard Burton has his way in The Taming of the Shrew. Then Liz doesn't want to belong to anyone in The VIPs. And Austin Stoker is under fire during an assault on Precinct 13.